Dear students, welcome to our YouTube channel Vidya for Success. Yes, here we go with animal breeding. So, animal breeding is one of the process. So, this process is very helpful to multiply animals with desirable quality. So, whenever we discuss regarding the farm management, the first step we discuss there is selection of breed. Because when we select the good breed to the farm, we can expect good amount of product and good quality of product from them. So, if you take the example of dairy farm, in the dairy farm, we expect a good amount of milk and good quality as well. But if we take the poultry farm, we look into the number of eggs and good quality chicken. Is it not? So, this can be achieved only when we select good breed to the farm. So, the question here is how to raise the good breed. Which process help us to raise the good breed? Is there any process? Yes. So one of the process that help us to raise a good breed is animal breeding. So what is mean by animal breeding? So animal breeding is a process of breeding animal to raise desirable qualities. So here we go with the definition of animal breeding. So breeding of domesticated animals to improve desirable qualities. So you have to concentrate on desirable qualities here. What do you mean by desirable quality? You take the example of dairy farm. So in the dairy farm, the cattle should have desirable quality. What is the desirable quality in cattle? That should give um, high amount of milk. The quality of milk should be of good. And in the poultry farm, the animal should be disease free. So like this, these are the few desirable quality we expect to be there in the farm animal or domesticated animal. Understood? So this desirable quality should be continued from one generation to another generation, because we do not want undesirable qualities in the domesticated animal, because there is no use of undesirable quality. So we need to have desirable qualities in the animal that should be continued from one generation to another generation. Because of this desirable quality, we are getting some of the benefits. So let me take the example here. So this is the cat with more fur over its body. So it is looking beautiful because of the more fur. But the more fur over the body is not a desirable quality, because most of the people are allergic to fur. So when we inhale the fur of cat, we will get allergic to it. So in most of the cases, the respiratory problem will be get arises. So this is not a desirable quality in the cat. Then what is the desirable quality? So cat with less fur over its body is the desirable quality. So our aim is to continue the desirable quality in the future generation. So what we have to do in the animal breeding is we have to select the parent with our desirable quality. So which quality we need to be continued in the next upcoming generation. So that parent should be selected for breeding. So the cat with less fur will be selected, and it will be mated, and the appropriate progeny will be obtained. So progeny always consists of the character of both the parents. Understood? So like this, the continuous breeding of the desirable, that means continuous breeding of the animal with the desirable quality help us to continue the same characteristic feature, same trait in the upcoming generation. So this continuous breeding of desirable quality, animal with desirable quality, decreases the undesirable qualities, so that when we keep on breeding the desirable quality animal in the future will be increases their number. So this is the advantage what we are getting by the animal breeding. Clear? So the animal breeding is a process. It helps us to increase the number of domesticated animal with desirable qualities. Is what do you mean by breed? So breed is a group of animals related by descent, and they are similar in most of the characters like general appearance, features, size, configuration, etc. So if you take a group of animals, any of the animal as an example, if you take a group of animal, when they are related by descent, that group of animal is called as a breed. Clear? So the number of animals will be there in the group. So those animals, they are related to one another. That means their parents are same, their grandparents, great grandparents will be same. So because of that, they are related to one another. So when they are related to one another, their general appearance will be same, feature, size and configuration will be of same type. So that group of animals we are naming as breed. Understood? So for understanding breed in a better way, take the example of dogs. So in the dogs we have different breeds. So even though they are all belonging to the same family, same species, we can see different breed dogs. So you can look into the screen. So on the screen we have different dog breeds. So you can take the best example of Pomeranian and German Shepherd. So the Pomeranian dog is one breed and German Shepherd is the another breed. So just to compare the Pomeranian dog to the German Shepherd, they are uh, not sharing the same appearance. That means their general appearance is not same, their feature is not same. But both are belonging to the same family. Both are dogs, but they appears little different. Clear? So that is what we are calling as breed. So when the number of animals they are related by descent, that group of animal is called as breed. So Pomeranian is one breed, German Shepherd is another breed. So that you can't expect the same feature in both the breed, but they are belonging to the same family. They both are dog, but they look different. So you take 4 to 5 number of Pomeranian, they all look similar because they are all belonging to the same breed. And you take 5 to 6 German Shepherd, they all look similar because they are belonging to the same breed. So that group of animal, when they are related to each other by descent, that group of animal is named as what? Breed. So for animal breeding, we select the animal belonging to the same breed, or we can also select the animal from different breed. So here we go with the common breeds of cattle and poultry. So we discussed regarding the dairy farm as well as poultry farm management, and let us now understand what breed is commonly used in dairy farm and poultry farm. So one of the cattle breed used in the dairy farm is Jersey. So Jersey is exotic breed. It is not originated in our country. It is exported from mm, some other country, so that it is called as exotic variety. So this cattle is having high milk yielding potential and it is disease resistant. So because of these desirable qualities, this breed is commonly used in most of the dairy farm in order to get good quality of milk and quantity. Then one of the commonly used poultry breed is Leghorn. So Leghorn is also exotic breed of chicken. So in the Leghorn, different colored breeds are available. Some are brown, some are white in color. So this is one of the breed commonly used in the poultry farm because this is disease free and it will give a good product in the poultry farm. So because of their desirable quality, they are commonly used in the farm. So in the cattle, the good breed is Jersey, and among the poultry breed, the good breed is Leghorn. So these two are exotic breeds. So this is the Jersey and this one is Leghorn. Yes, now let us study the types of breeding. So in the breeding, there are two basic types are there. The first type of breeding is inbreeding. So in is nothing but within the same breed. Breeding is done within the same breed. So breeding is between the animals of same breed is called inbreeding. Clear? So we already discussed regarding the breeding. So the breed is nothing but a group of animal. They are all sharing similar characteristic feature. They appear in same. They size will be same because they are all related to one another. So when we are selecting the parents belonging to the same breed for breeding, that kind of breeding is called as inbreeding. And the second type of breeding is outbreeding. So here the breeding is done between the animal belonging to different breeds. So they will select the parents from two different breeds for mating. So when we are selecting the parents from two different breeds, such a breeding is called as outbreeding. So the crossing between different breed is called outbreeding. So these are the two basic types of breeding. One is inbreeding and outbreeding. So let us now study about inbreeding. So inbreeding refers to the mating of more closely related individuals within the same breed for 4 to 5 generations. So in the inbreeding, animals are selected from the same breed. So they will select two animals as a parent for crossing. So those two animals are actually belong to the same breed, and they are closely related individuals because they are sharing the common ancestor at least from 4 to 5 generation. So because those two animals are sharing the common ancestor from 4 to 5 generations, they are considered to be a closely related individual. So this is very important here. So in case of inbreeding, the two parents selected for mating are closely related individuals because they are sharing the common ancestor at least for 4 to 5 generation. Then one more thing you need to understand here. So when they are selecting the animals for mating, they will look some of the character in that animal. That is very important. So that character is nothing but superior male and superior female. So when they are searching for the male, they will search for superior male, and when they are selecting the female, they will select superior female. Then what do you mean by superior male? So superior male is nothing but good quality male. That means that is having the ability to produce good progeny, superior progeny. Then in the female, the superior quality they will look into is good milk giving ability. So the female will be produces more milk. Clear? That is considered to be a superior female. So for inbreeding, they will select superior male and superior female as a parent, and they are mated in pair in order to produce progeny. So as a result, progeny will be produced. That progeny is also superior progeny because both the parents are having superior character. So it is producing by the superior parent as so that the progeny will be of superior type. So the superior progeny will be share the character from both the parent. So it is actually got the character from both the parent. So some of the character from the father and some of the character from the mother. So that uh, the progeny will be having the ability to produce more milk, as well as it got the ability to produce good progeny again. So In the inbreeding, always the parents selected are closely related individual. So, what are the merits of inbreeding? Why to do inbreeding among the organisms? So, inbreeding always increases homozygosity. So, the continuous inbreeding increases homozygosity. Homozygosity is nothing but the organisms formed are of same type. They appear same. They share similar characteristic feature. So, when the progeny are looking similar, their characteristic feature will be same. That condition is called as homozygous condition. So, continuous inbreeding always increases homozygosity. Do you remember the Mendel experiment? So, in the Mendel experiment, before he start his experiment, he actually raised pure lines for both the parents, tall and dwarf parents. So, what was the process used by him to raise the pure line for tall and dwarf plant? So, in order to raise the pure line of tall plant, he selected two tall parents in each of the generation. So, as a result of continuous crossing between the two tall parents, he obtained homozygous tall plant. That means all the progeny at the end of experiment obtained are tall progenies. So, that condition is called as homozygous condition, or that is named as pure lines. In animals also, the continuous inbreeding will be increases homozygosity. And the one more merit is less desirable genes are eliminated. So, in the inbreeding, while selecting the parents, we always look for the desirable character. So, when we are continuously selecting the desirable character in each and every generation, obviously the less desirable genes are eliminated. So, as a result of continuous inbreeding, less desirable genes are completely get eliminated. So, these are the merits of inbreeding. We also have demerits from the inbreeding. So, demerit is the continuous inbreeding reduces fertility. So, fertility is nothing but the potentiality for reproduction is get reduces. So, how it is get actually reduces? Because in each and every generation, in order to rise the each progeny, we are selecting the parents from the same breed. So, when we are doing the same thing in each of the generation, as a result, it will be decreases, it will be reduces the fertility rate. That means the productivity will be get reduces. There is no new organism formation. That means a new variety is not raised in case of inbreeding. So, this will reduces the fertility. So, when the fertility rate will be get reduces, that condition is called as inbreeding depression. So, continued breeding always increases the inbreeding depression. Inbreeding depression is nothing but the fertility rate of fertility is less, the productivity is also less. So, that condition is called as inbreeding depression. So, this is the demerit of inbreeding. I hope you understood today's video. So, in today's class, we studied regarding the types of breeding, and also we studied about inbreeding, and we discussed regarding the merits and demerits of inbreeding. Thank you.